So in today's video, we're going to take a peek at the original Breeo fire pit, one of the very first prototypes that was made back in 2011, so going on 10 years ago. And it's been sitting outside ever since at a cabin in southern Lancaster County. We were here actually for the first episode of Mystery Meat a few months ago, so you may recognize this location from that. So we're going to go and take a look at it. We'll build a fire in it. We'll see how it works. We'll see how it's held up to the elements for the last 8 years, and we'll see how it compares to our current Breeo units. So I'm excited to kind of check this thing out and put it through its paces. All right, I think I see it right there. So behind me here is one of the first ever Breeo fire pits. This thing was built back in 2011, and we're gonna take a look and see in what shape it's been. It's been sitting out here for, I guess it's like almost 8 years. So it's pretty obvious right away. There's some pretty big difference between this fire pit here and the ones we make now. It looks like it's similar inside dimension to like our Blaze unit. We got this handy ring around the outside, looks like. Inside looks fairly similar, but the post system here is a little bit more simplistic. You can see the handle system here is a lot closer to the fire than what our current ones are. And then this whole operation is quite unique. Looks like we got a winch up high here. Then at a right angle, we have this nice decorative little, I don't know what this is, almost like a wrought iron piece. And then our hook comes down from there. So I'm gonna build a fire in here. All right, we got her fired up. You can see behind me, she's burning great. I think the primary air holes were smaller back then, so it's not getting quite as much air as I'm used to with our current fire pits in the bottom. But the secondary combustion looks to be doing fine, and the fire is burning great. So you can see the unit is fairly rusty. I mean, it's pretty much the whole thing is covered in what you call a patina or a rust finish, and that's what you'd expect after a steel fire pit being in the outdoors for this amount of time. But there's no holes in it. Everything seems to be functioning fine. Even like the threaded parts to tighten the grill and all those pieces are all working fine. So surprisingly, it's actually in good shape for being sitting out here for 8 years, and seems to be working fine. Functionally, this thing works the exact same as it did when it was made 8 years ago, even though it's been sitting out in the elements that whole time. So pretty impressive to see what our fire pits look like after this amount of time. And of course, we build stainless ones now, which would be even better with longevity. Wouldn't even show this amount of rust even after that period of time. But I'm pretty happy with how everything's working so far. We'll see how this fire continues to burn, but so far so good. So you can see it's kind of burning just like a normal Breeo fire pit would. You got some swirling action on the sides with the secondary combustion, and the fire itself is burning well from the primary air coming through the bottom. So pretty crazy. I think this thing's been sitting here for 8 years and still functioning just as well today as it was when it was made. All right, our little test is done. I'm gonna hop back in the truck, head back to Breeo. Thanks for tuning in.